Welcome back to Geek Out SA. I don't know where my cap is, so I grabbed the closest hat that I could find. But welcome back again. No, I found a cap. I did. It was down on the floor. I just picked it up. So, but that was the first one I grabbed because it was like the closest one.
You're not the only one who has stole my super awesome gardening cap, okay? This has been really good for field trips and stuff. Keeps the sun out of your eyes. It's very stylish. I wear it with a little pink shirt that I bought. Everybody thinks I'm super cute. So
like we've been running like super late today.
Yes.
It's been crazy.
Yes. We're running around like a bunch of idiots. But it's been fun. Fun times.
Yeah, fun times on NPR.
And it's like not like we don't have a million other things to do like tomorrow and everything. And
it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
One of these days we'll stop and like have a vacation.
And breathe?
Yeah. Hopefully we're going to go see a movie. We haven't seen a movie in a couple of weeks, so...
When are we going to see a movie? Tonight?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I was going to discuss that with you after the show.
Maybe. Well, we still need to check up on something, but I'm not going to talk about that yet because what's happening right now is... Have you heard yet? Have you heard? It's coming. It's coming.
I don't know what you're talking about, and now I'm frightened.
Blade Runner 2. It's finally gonna... It's gonna come out in, what, 2017?
So I saw that because here we are casting Jared Leto again.
Jared Leto as a replicant.
Yeah.
I was like, I could see that, but he's like a method actor.
Refresh my memory, because I love you, and I know that you love Blade Runner, and we've watched it several times, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to tell you the truth. I've been there physically, but I wasn't really paying attention. It was kind of a snooze fest for me.
Blade Runner.
So I don't get it. So I know that you're in love with it. You have a Blade Runner problem. You have it like on every format possible.
Chris, Blade Runner
is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blade Runner is a great movie.
Why?
It's like one of the best sci-fi movies out there. One thing I liked about it was the grittiness of it. It was real gritty. It was kind of a grainy look to it. But I really liked Deckard.
That's Harrison Ford's character.
Harrison Ford's character.
Yes. Which Harrison Ford is coming back.
As really old.
As really old. Because this is not a remake of Blade Runner, right?
No, this is a sequel.
Right?
Now, didn't C. Thomas Howell do Blade Runner 2 already?
Did he?
That went straight to...
I think so. That went, yeah.
Just like went straight to DVD or whatever, video or whatever time period it was, and went straight to whatever
VHS.
format.
Yeah, straight to VHS. But no, this is actually with Harrison Ford. But no, I didn't hear anything about Sean Young. I guess because replicants are supposed to get old. But yeah, they grow.
Because I saw that
older.
I was looking at the cast list, and I saw Harrison Ford, so I was like, oh, well, that's good, right? Because sometimes you see these sequels, and they weren't able to get the actors, and that for me already makes it fall flat, right? If you aren't able to get the original actors, or at least some of them,
yeah,
I think that you should just stop right away. But so at least they have Harrison Ford. Then I saw that
you
they're
need
going to have
Harrison
Ryan
Ford.
Gosling.
You also need what's his name? Jaime Escalante. That played Jaime Escalante.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You just went way over.
In that movie about math.
Yes.
Edward James Olmos.
Edward James Olmos. Yes.
I almost called him Admiral Adama, but that's okay.
That too.
Him too.
That too. Yeah, he should be in it too. I don't think he died in that movie.
I didn't see his name on the list, but I wasn't looking for it. Like Ryan Gosling popped up just because a lot of women think that he's attractive. I don't think he's extremely attractive, but there are all these funny teacher memes with Ryan Gosling, and he's like, hey, girl, I love the way you use that copy machine, or hey, girl, I love the way you write those lesson plans. So there's all these funny Ryan Gosling memes for teachers. So when I saw his name on there, I was like, oh, the meme kid, right? That's what I'll forever think of Ryan Gosling as. And he's a really good little actor, too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his
You need to get your little lights on.
No, I literally have nothing going on today.
No, we were like rushing. I was trying to get the overlays done. I didn't even get the graphics for up here ready.
You're like, whatever, there's stuff.
I had to make sure I took the ones from last week off.
Just so that we wouldn't
Just so
at least
we
have
wouldn't,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I tried to do I did the Facebook Live to like announce the show, and my videos are all really grainy, and I don't know why my phone is
Well, it's
doing
your
it.
connection to...
But I'm connecting to the 4G. It says 4G.
Yeah, but you're not connecting that well to it.
Apparently not.
We need to figure out why the Wi-Fi are connected directly to the Time Warner Wi-Fi.
But the Time Warner has been really lousy too, so...
No, it hasn't. Because we're not connecting...
Yeah, it has.
No, we're not connecting to the Time Warner router through Wi-Fi. We're connecting through our own Wi-Fi router. It's a thing.
Which should be a better router than the Time Warner.
Yeah, it should.
So I'm like...
Hashtag
It was.
Not sponsored by Time Warner. No.
Not sponsored by Time Warner yet. If
Yeah.
you did, you would give us really good stuff.
If they did, we'd stop talking about Google Fiber.
We would. And how much we want it. Or maybe Google Fiber can sponsor us. That would be
They're
awesome.
like, these guys are pimping us out for free.
Sponsor
Why would we
this
give
guy
them
in San
money?
Antonio. That's the die that I was working on.
You made some dice. Thank you for throwing
I was
dice
like,
at me. Nobody can see this. It's dice. Okay, good. We're done.
so yeah, no. So back to Blade Runner 2.
Yes, Blade Runner 2.
I'm excited about it. If you saw the opening image, which I didn't get to put up on here, it was the concept art for Blade Runner 2. And it seems more dark.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll try to read. You have some of the graphic
Don't
novels.
read
and
the
stuff.
book. Don't read the book.
Oh no.
No.
That's a disconnect. Another one of those disconnect things.
No, not that it's a disconnect. It's you don't like Deckard as much in the book as you do in the movie. You like him better in the movie.
I didn't like him in the movie.
He's a big wuss in the book. A big wuss.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. And I was
Well,
just
how
like,
did you know? You read a book?
Yeah, I read a book.
You read that book?
Yeah. The original name of the book is called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
I know. I've seen I've watched you some of the graphic novels
Yeah.
and stuff. So, but I didn't know you had actually
By Philip.
read.
No, I actually read that one. Compared to the movie is far beyond what the book is.
So
I think.
Do you?
What do
think
you think, Chris?
I want to keep my mouth shut on this one.
You like Deckard better in the book?
No. I like them both as independent media, kind of like Dune the book versus the old Dune movie.
Yeah.
You see what
I mean, there
So-
were some things that were different, but it was a lot of the same stuff.
So Vincent has this mantra ever since I've known him, and he and I have been married for 17 years. This whole, I don't want to read the book. I would just rather watch the movie. The movie takes less of my time, and it's probably going to be done well or better as it is. So do you think this Blade Runner disconnect is where you got that mantra from?
I think so.
That's kind of crazy. Like, you were
think
one of the
so.
original not like the book haters, and then it took you so far over the cliff that now
No,
you won't read
but I
books.
was not like the. What do you mean not like the book haters?
Like, you hated the movie because it wasn't like the book. Or you hated
No.
the book because it wasn't like the movie. You were like a flip-flop. He was a
No, because I saw the movie first. I had no idea that that was a book. And I read the book after, and I didn't like it.
I think that ruins the
compared to the
experience
movie.
every time. For me, it ruins the book for me every
Right.
time. Because then you can't get this idea of like those movie personalities out of your head, and so it's hard to read the book with your own
I mean,
perspective.
Philip K. Dick has done some awesome stuff. I don't like that book in comparison to the movie. But that's because I saw the movie before I read the book. So,
That's understandable.
Yeah, and if people do that, it's I don't think you attach yourself to Deckard as well as you do to the one in the movie.
And the one in the movie.
because he's such a wuss in the book.
And you just want to smack him around and tell him to stop being a wuss. Well,
Stop
and
being
it's
a little baby.
It's funny because I just finished the new Harry Potter book, The Cursed Child.
The play or whatever.
It's really a play, yeah. So I wasn't gonna pick it up because
So have they actually done that play?
It's in London. Mm-hmm. So there's been this big scandal about like people getting scalp tickets and like the theaters having to take all these measures now and do like, you know, all these crazy kind of tickets and stuff so that scalpers aren't getting these tickets because people want to get in and see The Cursed Child. But so when you go to read the book is just the script for the play because they didn't really write, it's not really a book. Like they just collaborated together and they wrote this play as a continuation of like what happens later.
It's like Shakespeare, but you can read it easier.
But for a lot of people, they're having trouble reading it because it does go and it's like, here's the character's name, ... this is what they say. Here's the character's name, ... this is what they say. So they're having it's not like reading a book.
Well, I mean, that's a main thing. That's a main thing that I didn't really like about like reading Shakespeare. It's not meant to be read. It's meant
to be watched.
To be a play. It's meant to be watched, performed. Yeah. For someone to read it, you have to play out. Oh, I just saw that you got Algra as a pop.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Oh, shiny.
Come on, Doug, stay with us.
What was I talking about?
That you have to be able to like imagine.
You have to imagine it playing out in your head, like you would like when you play role-playing games.
Which I can because I played role-playing games. Because I was in theater in high school, because I've been to enough plays to know what a play looks like. Mm-hmm. So I have this ability in my brain to like turn off where those words are that they're talking and just imagine the play, right, in my head. I imagine it more like a movie in my head than I do really a play, but it's kind of still...
But when you look at it as like reading, it's not a great read.
It is if you're capable of those things. If you're not, no.
But if you're just looking at it as like it compared to like a book will be more descriptive and paint a better picture for you because the director is there and the scenes are there to paint that for you, whereas you don't have that with the book, so the book needs to be more verbose. Right,
because in the script there's these little descriptions of like what the scene kind of is laid out like, but yeah, they're taking... I mean, they wrote it together, right? Mm-hmm. So they knew the direction of what the scenes were going to look like and what the sets were going to look like. So they didn't have a lot of that in there, but you know what Hogwarts looks like. Mm-hmm. You know what the Ministry of Magic office looks like, right? From seeing the movies, right? Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. A lot of people hated it, and I think they hated it because it was that disconnect of not being able to read it and get into that character. So I don't know.
But you should already be connected with that character.
Well, and they felt like Harry was really whiny in this. As an adult, he's really kind of whiny, and I'm like, did y'all not read the other books? Because he's really whiny. Yeah, he really is. He is really whiny. Like, he goes through all this stuff he's ill prepared for. He's a kid when he goes all that. Like,
he's whiny in the movie.
Yeah, he's real whiny.
All the movies he's whiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's whiny in the books, too, because he's going through all this stuff, and he's a kid.
Harry Potter, you're whiny.
And he frets about things, and he's worried about doing things right, because all of that is on his shoulders, and people were like, oh, he's not like that in the books. And I'm like, what books were y'all reading? Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. So I thought it was good, but a lot of people didn't like it. So I think it's your perspective. So I wonder if you would have liked Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep had you read it first, and then seen the movie.
I don't know. I would still like Deckard better in the movie.
And that can happen. You can end up liking somebody else's personification of a character better than you like them in the book. I mean, that happens often.
Well, because it was very different.
Mm-hmm. Like another book movie that I felt had a huge disconnect is the Divergent series. So you didn't read any of those books with me, but I read all the books for the Divergent series. So the last movie in the Divergent series is like not like the books at all. Like I don't even know what books they were
We have
reading.
some like anonymous person that's watching us right now.
Anonymous person.
Because I'm checking out Chitango. Yeah, if you want to like talk to us, you can talk to us about on Chitango right up here, or you can talk if you're on YouTube. You can talk to us through YouTube.
Are you checking
live
the
chat.
YouTube live too?
I'm checking both.
Okay, thank you. You're better at that than I am. I apologize. So yeah. I don't know.
Patrick says Nolan from Nolan C 3D Printworks says, "Sup, I actually need to get with you tonight if I can because we need to get that canopy thingy majigger for tomorrow." He's actually not going to be.
It was very scientific. That's a good descriptor.
He's not going to be able to make it tomorrow. He's going to be at a tournament, I think.
Tomorrow?
But he's watching right now.
Tomorrow
so
for what?
For karate.
What can't he make it for because he's in karate?
Little Free Library. Because we're doing Little Free Library tomorrow. I was coming to it. If you would just give me a chance. I have to build up to my.
I'm trying to feed you.
Lead
You and I
in.
are off today. We are so off.
Well,
this is not happening. I'm like throwing worms.
Yeah, he says, "I'm here. Come on by, bring beer." I was like, that rules. Not that she drinks beer.
I don't do that.
So.
I'm so confused about what we're
Well,
talking
we
about.
went in from Blade Runner, and then we went to what?
The
Harry
first
Potter.
child. Yeah, Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry
And
Potter.
we're doing
Dumbledore.
Little Free Library. I know we've been talking about it for like what?
Months.
Months and months and months.
Yeah.
Almost a year. Has it taken that long just to get this done?
You know, I don't even want to talk about how long it takes. If people knew how long it takes, how much effort you have to put into something, I wanted this
But it
event
wasn't
to
just
be bigger and better
do
than
it,
it's
yeah.
going to be, and now it's not going to be, which makes me sad because I have put in a lot of effort. But I am glad that the library is going to be there for the community to use. So I'm just going to kind of like hold on to that happy thought, and that'll be like, my pixie dust. But I had wanted to have like the public library out there and some authors from here in San Antonio and one of the comic book companies from here in San Antonio. And I told people in advance, like, this is coming, I just don't know what the date is yet. And I had to wait for a government office to get back to me because we're putting the library in a public place.
But granted, it wasn't just the government office that we were waiting on because we were trying to contact the neighborhood association
Right.
in order to get that done, and they would never contact us back. So we're trying to do this for the neighborhood. You think they would?
Yeah. So it's like all these different organizations have to come together at once, and people don't understand that that's like hurting.
And then
wet
when
cats.
it does it, it boom.
Oh, you
It's
gotta do
happening
it
now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm going. Well, I really needed to do it before summer was over.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the stipulations that I told her, like, because I go back to class soon, and my class this semester is on Saturdays.
Well, I get the feeling that they didn't actually contact the neighborhood association.
I had to send them pictures and all kinds of information and stuff, so...
Oh, you did? Did they respond back? No.
To her.
To her?
Yeah, she went to one of the meetings.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it was
Very
a thing.
nice.
So, unfortunately, I heard back from the San Antonio Public Library today. They cannot make it out, so they are not going to be there. I heard back from the comic book company today. They cannot make it out, so they are not going to be there. A lot of the cosplayers who had told me they were going to make it out cannot make it out, so they are not going to be there.
But there's some others that are coming.
Thankfully, we are going to have our producer and his crew is going to be out there, and they are the new crew of the newly established. Can I tell them what y'all are called?
Yes.
Okay, it's Otaku Fellowship
Yes.
Society.
Boom.
Booyah! Booyah! So they're going to be out there reading books. I've got a special little book for Miss Lisa to read. And I have My Little Pony for Chris to read.
Woot.
And y'all are bringing Elsa, right? And so Elsa, I have a Frozen book for Elsa to read.
Bound and gagged. I mean.
But it was real nice today how the community came together and started sharing this out for us today. We had Marcellus and Jennifer from Geek Vengers put it out for us today, and then
really
a couple
nice.
others. I have no idea who they are.
And Jenny, who's been on the show before, Jenny Lee Cosplay, she isn't able to make it out, but she did like reach out to a bunch of the cosplayer that she knows, and she's been working really hard to try to get some cosplayers to come out. I know that she reached out to several different organizations, and one of the Assassin's Creed cosplayers from their group is actually in this neighborhood, so they're coming out. And then Heroes and Fantasies was really nice, and they gave us some free comics.
Did we actually get those?
Yeah, we went and got them today.
Oh.
So big shout out and thanks to Adam at Heroes and Fantasies. Gave us free comics so that we can give some free comics out because hello, comics is reading. You know, so I think that
looking
it'll
at pretty
be nice.
pictures too.
Ooh, reading with pictures. So I think that'll be good, and we'll have that stuff to give away to the kids, and then we're probably gonna go get a few balloons and the canopy thing and some candy and stuff, you know, just to kind of.
Lisa's excited. She's like, I have a special book.
She does have a special book. I can't wait to show her. So I think it'll be really great and really fun. It was cute last night. We were putting up flyers in the duck pond in the park. And this one little boy came up to us and he was like, oh, did you lose your pet?
Did you lose your dog?
Yeah. And we were like, no, honey, like we're having an event tomorrow. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I like Heroes and Fantasies. Because we told him there was going to be free comic books and reading. And then so he ran over and told his mom. And there were some other people that came and looked at the flyers. So it was really nice. So I'm hoping that word spreads in the neighborhood. And then I'm hoping that as you guys see us doing this, that this spreads to other neighborhoods. Now, obviously, Vincent and I can't steward them in all the other neighborhoods, but once you see what we've done and what we're capable of, I'm hoping that this grows. And then I'm also doing this as a pilot program at my campus at my school. And so I'm hoping that this grows in my school district because I'm in a really big school district. So I'm hoping that this is something that grows.
And we've gotten a lot of help from the Literacy Club. The Literacy Club, which is Doug and Jean Chadwick in California, and they helped us out with books. They gave us some really awesome brand new books,
really great books
that we're gonna put in there. In fact, we're gonna go take a look and take some pictures tonight.
Yeah, well, we got our decal in the mail, so they helped us get hooked up with a decal for our show, so that our show logo is going to be
here.
Yeah, so I already checked that out. It was good. So they got us hooked up with that. They actually got us hooked up with the little free library already built for us. So all we had to do was paint it and decorate it and stain it and seal it and all that good fun stuff. So yeah, they really hooked us up with that. And they are building a huge number of libraries there in California.
Yeah, I think he has like 14 right? 14. He's in the works. So
and they do a really great program with the police stations. So if you know anybody, or if you're in the police force, or you know anybody who's here in San Antonio in the police force, it's a really good thing because a lot of parents go and drop off their kids and they do that exchange with their kids. And so this is a safe place where the kids can go and kind of read books and kind of relax and be away from that tension of the parents. And the parents can deal with the whole drop off over here. So if you know anybody who's in like SAPD or who could send us in the right direction, Doug from the Literacy Club is actually going to be here in October. So he would like
he's
to
going to be at
this.
Game Expo.
Yeah, so he would like to expand this in the San Antonio area as well, because we are kind of one of those at-risk, at-need areas. So I think it would be really great. So if you know anybody, let us know. Just send us a message.
That'd be cool. So come out tomorrow at 12 to 2:30 p.m.
12 to 2. Because then after 2, we've got to drive to New Braunfels, remember? Because we have another event tomorrow.
Huh? No, I know what you mean.
I'm just gonna start. If you could just
She's
turn the camera
like-
on me, and I'm gonna throw things so that y'all can't.
Because I
see.
said 12 to 2 p.m. She's like, yeah, 12 to 2.
You said 12 to 2:30.
Oh, did I say 2?
You said 2:30.
I said 2:30. We'll probably still be there at 2:30.
Like breaking down and stuff.
Yeah. You can still come and get books. You can get books
You
at
can
any
get books
time.
whenever. You don't have to be there.
Whenever you want.
You can come get
The,
books
the
whenever.
cool thing about it is you can go get a book and, just take it. You can keep it if you want. We don't need you to replace it. Or if you want to replace it and share other books.
Yeah,
Or bring it back
if
after
you read
read it.
and you go, oh, this was great. Other people should be able to read this story, and you want to put it in there, then put it in there. Yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe stick like a Post-it note on there and just like, oh, I really enjoyed this book.
This book was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's good.
So, and our job is to go there and then make sure the books in there are appropriate.
They're not ripped up and torn
Not ripped
up
up
and
torn
moldy. And hopefully, and this is going to be tough, but my hope above all hope is that the library doesn't get like super vandalized and tagged. And in our neighborhood, that's a little tough. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Well, I mean, that's where we're trying to get the community out there, and maybe we'll do more events out there to, tell about, like, throughout the year. To just show this is what we do and this is what we're about. I think if we just connect with the community, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Hopefully.
They probably won't do that.
Petition to make that a Pokestop,
Yeah.
And make it there's a Pokestop right there.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we could put some lures on it
Yeah.
tomorrow. That'd be cool.
So yeah, I think it'll be fun. We'll have a good time.
Mm-hmm. So, what else about the Little Free Library? Or do you have any questions about the Little Free Library?
I think I beat the Little Free Library to death. I think everybody knows.
We like Little Free Library.
I do.
We really do.
I really do. It's like
we
really
joke,
important to me.
But when I was a kid, I read a lot of books.
Yeah, I joke with you all the time. I mean, yes, you did read a lot.
I don't read as much now. I don't have the time for it.
I joke.
You barely have the time for it.
Yeah,
Everyone, I mean,
I only read 4 this summer, which for me is not very much. So yeah, and during the school year, like during the whole school year, I'll read 1, maybe 2.
I mean, I'd like to get back into it. It's just it's difficult. It's really difficult to get back and just like.
It's really the only time
we don't
I
have
unwind.
downtime really.
Yeah.
We need to change that. Yeah.
We should
need
practice
to do
that.
something about
do books
that.
on tape count?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they totally do. It's not my favorite thing. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm a visual person. I'm not an auditory person. So if I'm listening to it on tape, my brain goes elsewhere, and then I lose a lot of the story. So, but I literally have a stack of comics like this big from Free Comic Book Day that I haven't even sat down and looked. I bought the Archie zombie graphic novel.
You haven't read it?
No, and I bought it like a year and a half ago, and I still haven't.
You should read it.
Well, I have the books like all stacked up in the order that I purchased them, and I haven't gotten to.
And you're gonna read them in that.
I have like all 4 of the Maze Runner books, and I have all kinds of stuff. And then I see things like I'm staring at Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein right here across from me, and I'm like, oh.
One of my favorites.
I love that book.
I started reading that. I liked it.
I
didn't finish it.
That book is like, yeah. I don't know. It changes your mindset. I think it's just one of those books. You know what I read such a long time ago that I don't remember is Starship
Lisa
Troopers.
said he said
Yes.
2:30.
Yeah. Everybody's on my side tonight, baby.
Starship Troopers was a good one. My favorite was always The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by him.
I haven't read that one. Is that one perfect? Okay. I'm going to have to check out some more of those. My big thing last year was all of because we had watched True Blood, And I liked True Blood.
Oh,
I
the
did.
Sookie Stackhouse
So
books?
I read all the Sookie Stackhouse books, all 13 of them. I liked them. You know, I thought they were quirky and fun and interesting, and they were very different from the series. But I really, since I had seen the series,
I think the last year sucked.
Yeah, I mean they knew they were there at the end, so, and it had gone so far, like it was so far off reservation from where the books were, that they were just making stuff up. Like that's how Game of Thrones is gonna be. Like Game of Thrones is off the reservation. Like they're just making stuff up at this point and hoping George R. R. Martin catches up. You know, it's like he'll be watching the show and go, "Hey, that's a good idea. Let me put that in." So I think it's interesting, and I think that this is a good way for us to teach kids, especially if you're a reader, for you to teach your kids, is to read some of these books with them and then show them the movie and talk about the differences. One of the ones that we do in the junior high level is The Giver, since they came up with the Giver movie. The more modern Giver movie. And there's actually a play on The Giver too, so they can see those three different perspectives of how it looks, you know, how it looks when you read it, how it looks when you see a play, how it looks when you see a movie. So that's just a really good way to help people, I think about things. And I think that it's a really good way to introduce kids to the arts, because that's another thing I find nowadays is to me it doesn't seem like kids are as introduced to the arts as I felt like, and maybe it's because I grew up with an art teacher dad.
People, I mean, you have to have like people that will take the time to be able to take you to stuff like that when you're a kid. And a lot of parents just don't have that time or don't have the interest to do that because maybe that wasn't fostered in them.
Right.
And it's not as important to them as like, maybe football or maybe grades or whatever. But it's, when you look at art or anything like that, it's there to give you emotion, to make you feel emotion, to make you feel something for what you're seeing. And that's like an amazing thing to be able to get that when you're looking at something.
So there's a new like uprising in education called STEM, and it's science and technology and engineering and arts and math, or STEAM depending on where you are. It's and so one of the things that we went to training, because teachers had to just go to our training this week before we started school, is one of the things they've been talking to people about is you put up that piece of art that kind of goes with what you're teaching the kids, and you have them talk about what they think is happening in that piece of art. You know, so I saw an article today where Marvel is coming out with all of these covers that are linked to STEM. So it's the different superheroes, and then they're doing something scientific, or they're doing something with technology, or they're doing something with art and mathematics. So I think that's interesting because I guess I never thought of it as not already intrinsically being in there, because a lot of the superheroes are already scientists. Like you've got Reed Richards, and you've got Beast, which I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, but they focus more on
like Tony
interactions
Stark
rather than that
practice,
stuff.
right.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. But I think you see it a lot, like in the Iron Man movies, right? You see how scientifically oriented engineering technology Tony Stark is. But I don't think that people know that that's what they're seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're seeing it, but they're seeing it, but they're not. It's not drilled into them. They're not understanding that. Yeah, that's science. This is like he produced that from nothing.
Like from parts, yeah. Like that's pretty phenomenal if you think about it, right?
He made an arc reactor from parts.
Yeah, in the desert, you know.
In the desert.
So I'm hoping
with
that the
a car
covers-
battery.
Yeah, I'm hoping the covers don't stop at just the cover. So I haven't been able to see what's in the issue.
Or no, it wasn't a car battery. He had a car battery because he was trying to apply. He applied that to the magnets so the metal fragments wouldn't go into his heart.
Go into his heart.
He had a heart attack.
Yes. So I'm curious to see if inside the issues, if they actually are talking about these principles, or is it just the cover to say that we are like connecting to that, and it's just the cover?
I think it's a step. I think it's a first step.
It is a step. So, but I'm just curious to see how far those steps go. Are we going to keep going with those steps? Are we going to keep trying to do that? And then I would love to see some educators out there, especially at the high school level, write lessons for how people can use these in the classroom. Because if you're not part of geek culture, if you're not part of fandom, you may not even know this exists.
Because it would be really amazing to do, and if y'all take this, you should give me credit, to do a comic book hero that does stuff with real technology that's out there right now. Because you'd be amazed what's out there and what you can do with it if you just put your mind to it. As I sit right here next to my laser engraver.
Yeah, I mean, you're fairly good on the forefront of that. Like, I'm not super big on technology, so I don't know much about it. But you've had the 3D printer, you have the laser engraver, so you've known what we're capable of technology-wise. I'm more interested in science, biology. So I'm always thrilled when you tell me like about the 3D printing of organs.
Chris just got in a like little mini PC.
Right.
That's like on a motherboard pretty much.
Tinkering for the win.
Yeah.
Well, what about that kangaroo thing that you got? Is it smaller than that?
Yeah, well, it's much thinner.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, things are getting smaller and smaller and smaller for their computing power. I mean, we had big old calculators. Yeah.
So this is it. What's it called? Pocket chip.
Yep.
Pocket chip. What are the capabilities of this?
Little 1 gigahertz, kind of like a Raspberry Pi type device.
Ooh, he just said a bunch of words I don't understand.
Yeah, I've talked about Raspberry Pi several times on the
he
show.
Thinks I listen to him when he talks about technology. Aren't they both cute today? But it's shiny. Well, tell the people, because I don't understand it.
So, I don't even. I've never even seen this one. This is the first time I've seen this one. But yeah, it's cool. You have it's all integrated,
right.
And it's like all on its own motherboard, and it has
you can pull out the little CPU
USB. You can pull the CPU out.
Yeah, the whole chip, that little square. Just pull it right straight out at you. Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah, but straight out from the back. Yeah, like that. You got it right.
Yeah. As I break it. No.
I know.
Live, everybody.
No, I'm not gonna do it. It's pretty in. It's pretty much pretty in there. But yeah,
like,
you can.
Do it as he keeps picking at it.
So you don't even need to attach it to a monitor because it has a monitor on it right here. Touchscreen.
What?
For that thing, it has its own keyboard that's integrated here, space bars, and even has the function keys up at the top.
So what's this Raspberry what?
Raspberry Pi.
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 What's that?
It's it's when the age when they started to do the ultra mini PCs.
Is it an operating system?
No, it's a PC.
No, it's a PC.
It's an architecture.
So what kind of operating system does something like this use?
You can run Linux on it, which I'm currently doing. You can run, Windows, iOS, IoT, Internet of Things OS.
Does it connect to the internet?
It does. It's got built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Really? So you can work on your Google Docs and stuff on there? Really?
Very cool.
That's pretty darn cool. I'm not even going to lie. I wouldn't even
See the little power button on the bottom of underneath the space bar, the center button. Just hold it down and it'll boot up for you. There you go.
Look at that. It even lights up and it's all clear and fancy.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and these are the things, I mean, my first computer is like that I got, which was 133 megahertz. Megahertz. Packard Bell. This is way faster than that. Way faster.
So with Linux, do you get? It's not like it used to be where you. Is it like you type in commands still?
You can still do that.
Yeah.
But there's still a GUI if you want a GUI.
Is there?
But those were more like.
GUI stands for graphic user interface. I know that.
Yeah. Why?
Because you taught me.
Because I taught you. But yeah, pocket chip. Cool.
Show them the screen. That's so cool. Look at that. That's crazy.
And if you hit terminal, I'm sure you'll figure out what to do from there.
Chip at chip.
Yeah.
And then you can do all your
What you were saying,
root
all
command
the old
stuff.
Command line stuff.
Oh, cool.
But how do you get out? Escape?
Just hit the home button again, the little power button once. There you go.
I remember when
You
I was
can
in
play
high school,
games.
so
You
this
can.
tells you how old I am.
You can like. There's like a. Like you, it's a Word doc.
Cool.
So you can start typing in there. And
When
do
I
that.
was in high school,
So you could
in the
even
90s,
connect like keyboards and mice and about anything.
Before Colleen picked me up, actually, I was compiling an old Game Boy emulator on there so I could play Red on the device.
nice.
Wow.
When you were in high school,
Oh, I learned how to code in Pascal.
Patrick says, "Holy cow! It looks like Speak and Spell." I remember those things.
It does. It does.
It
Oh my
does.
God, you're so right, Patrick.
But it's
does.
smaller,
I just
and
you
it
can
does
make
a hell
music.
of a lot more.
It says make music. Let's see what it does. Now I'm fascinated. I'm like, this is fascinating.
we've lost Colleen.
Yep, done. Don't forget to plug in your
So all
headphones
these
so you
little
don't annoy your
things that you could do
neighbor.
with technology, and then it can be controlled by a little computer like that.
I would think with something like this, you have to have some knowledge of how to use.
If you just use what's on there,
Yeah.
it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. I mean, Linux, even with Linux, even the stuff that I showed you, I didn't do a whole lot of command line stuff.
No.
I did
But
it when I had to install
I mean,
it
I
when
vaguely
it
remember
didn't.
doing command lines. And Tandy, my
There
friend
you
John
go.
had a Tandy,
Yeah.
and we used to play Pirates on the Tandy. Oh my God, I loved that game.
We were an
Pirates.
Apple II family.
My aunt had that, and she's the one that actually, fostered my love for computers, and it was because of that Apple II GS.
Oh, she had the Apple.
I used to play Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego on it. It's an awesome game. It's an awesome game. You have to play it with an almanac, a world almanac.
It actually came with one in the box.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Kids these days don't understand.
right.
Like, it's not like you can half the screen and have Google over here looking for stuff for you while you're playing. Like,
Because you're investigating, you're trying to find where she is,
Yes.
and then you have to, what does this flag look like? What colors are on this flag?
yeah, I like that game too.
Yeah, I would play that all night long. I'd be playing, and my aunt would be waking up. You still playing? Yeah. I need to find
Sounds
Carmen
like somebody
Sandiego.
else I know. Mister, I had to take a 5-hour energy because I stayed up till 8 a.m. He stayed up till 8 a.m. playing his new game, went to bed for 30 minutes, and then went to work.
What I used to do. It's what I used to do as
Sometimes
well.
you game hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. That's
I
how
can't
you
do-
were
I
when
can't-
Diablo came out, too.
Yeah.
Dude.
When Diablo
What
2
did y'all
came
call
out,
it? You called it Diablitas Type 2 or
Oh.
something? You and the kids? Like,
Diablosis,
yeah.
the
Diablosis
condition
Type
of having
2.
to play Diablo.
Everybody in the household had it. They would all be sitting, like, in separate rooms in this house, all playing the same Diablo game together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silent, because they're typing to each other. I'm like, what is going on? It's so weird.
And then the Diablo used to have a strange, because you used to be able to do like LAN parties, but it was a different protocol than TCP/IP.
Wasn't it like NetBUI or something like that?
It was
strange.
It was strange.
That, yeah.
It was strange. Yeah. It was like PCX or something like that. It had an X in it. I know that.
There were some X's. You throw a niner in there. You're on your walkie-talkie.
And then like somebody would be the server, and then you would play
Connect
all
to
that,
them and go,
connect to them and go. And those were actually faster games.
Nice.
Because they were all self-contained, because you didn't have to go out to the internet to connect to everything. But now the internet's so fast, it doesn't matter. Well, when it works.
When it works, yeah. The first hour of me,
Time Warner. No.
the first hour of me playing my game was, waiting for the day one patch to download. So.
Right, of course, obviously.
You're all like stupid Time Warner, and then our internet goes down there.
I know, right? They've been listening to us. They cut our feed.
Oh yeah, really?
The stream health is terrible.
Why is the stream health so bad?
It should be like the opposite. They should like give us more.
Right?
When we say that, I was just like,
they're like, oh, we'll show you.
You're like, oh, we're in 4K now. Yay!
3D, 4K.
It's the best show ever. Keep talking about Time Warner.
I'll have a little count in the corner. Every time you say Time Warner, it'll go up one.
No, it's gonna be faster, faster. But yeah, no, I dig it.
So I dig it. So I'm excited to see like what the storylines are going to be like inside of some of these.
I doubt it's going to be any different. I truly think it's just going to be the covers.
Too, because one of the ones that they're going with is Gwenpool. So did you know it's like Spider-Gwen and Deadpool mixed together? I didn't even know there was a Gwenpool. I was like, what? And so I was kind of bummed that like they're doing the stem on like titles that nobody's ever heard of, which is kind of a bummer. But I was like, whatever, I'll take it for now. They are doing a Spider-Man. I thought there was a
Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's a Spider-Man one. So, but some of them were like,
but it's it's like the Puerto Rican Spider-Man.
It's a different variant. Yeah, it's not Peter Parker.
Yeah, I forget what his name is.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't remember.
Not a clue.
But it's nice that they're going in and doing these different. I like that they're going through and then, okay, well, this isn't Peter Parker. This is another person that's donning the Spidey suit. Mm-hmm. So, and then that's when they bring in like other stuff. But when they like change characters, I don't really like. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I don't read enough of the storylines to know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I should. Like, I was really interested when the whole, hullabaloo came out about Captain America being Hydra, and like I was like, oh, I should read that. But, I have a problem with not being able to read anything. Like, I still haven't read all my Ninja Turtle stuff. Like, I just flipped through them. I was like, Donnie's still dead. Donnie's still dead. Donnie's still dead. Oh, he's back. Okay. So, I bought them all. I know that there's a storyline in there somewhere. I just haven't, like, really sat down and read it. So, I need to do that. But I'm afraid, like, if I get started on some of these comic books, then I'm going to be the way Matt was for a while. And then I'm going to have, like, 60 titles in my thing, Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to be, like, buying all these comics that I'll never be able to read. And because I'll be like, oh, that storyline. Oh, that storyline sounds. Oh, that storyline sounds good. I wish there was, like a library for comic books or something where you could just go kind of, like, check them out.
Yeah.
Check them out, read them, and then, like, return them so you don't have to store them all.
Mm-hmm.
I think my brother-in-law uses, what is it, Comixology, or that subscription service where it's digital.
Yeah, I'm still not a whole fan of the whole digital reading thing. It doesn't do it for me, and I kind of have a hard time.
Because you haven't tried it.
I live and die by my Kindle, so sorry.
Yeah.
You haven't tried it. You haven't tried it. You haven't tried it.
I used the iPad and I tried it. I
See,
didn't
that's
like
not.
it.
See, I can't do it on an iPad like that. But the e-ink displays, I can, just like a
Really?
book.
Maybe somebody
I
needs
heard
to
that-
buy me a Kindle for Christmas. I'm just saying. Kindle, you could send me a free one and I'll review it and say how awesome you are. Not like Time Warner.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon.
But yeah, no.
Oh, one more thing I was going to talk about because we got away from movies, but I wanted to go back to movies. Did you see that they're having a live-action Pokemon movie?
Yes, I did see that they're
So
having
what
a
are they
live-action
gonna like?
Pokemon movie.
Pikachu's going to be like a stuffed character?
No,
Like,
well, here's the thing. Because I actually researched it.
yay!
It's kind of like in tandem with a new game that's coming out called
Pokemon Detective.
Pokemon Pikachu Detective or
Maybe Pikachu Detective?
Pikachu, something like that.
Is it Pikachu Detective?
I think it's Pikachu
So-
Detective.
So it's the Pikachu that's with his trainer that is kind of smarter than most,
Smarter than the
Pokemon.
average bear. I mean,
smarter
Pokemon.
than the average Pokemon. And
And is the trainer Ash? Do we know?
no, it's not
Not
Ash.
Ash,
It's
okay.
somebody else.
It's not red either, right? No.
I don't think so. But what they're trying to do together is find his father.
Find Pikachu's father.
No,
Find
find
the
the
trainer's-
trainer's father.
Okay.
And that's what they're doing. And they actually sign on like Guardians of the Galaxy writer
Yeah.
for
I
it.
saw that. So I'm just wondering though if Pikachu and the other Pokemon, are they going to be like costume characters, or are they going to be like a half human Pikachu hybrid? You know what I'm kind of
Like a CG?
A CGI, yeah.
No, you think it's going to be CGI?
Well, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Sad face.
Yeah.
I'd totally love to see, like, the Jim Henson's company do Pokemon,
Well, yeah, that
right?
was what I was hoping for that. So
Well, I
it's gonna
thought
be
his
CG.
son was taking up his mantle and doing some of that stuff. I thought he was doing a good job
Yeah.
at some stuff. Jim Henson's son.
I don't know. All I know is I got, like you said, there's Agra up there, and I got the Dark Crystal Pops, and now I've been dying for like weeks to watch the Dark Crystal again. So I totally, we need to sit down and watch that.
They should do a sequel of that.
Yes.
Yes, I would totally watch that.
Skeksis.
Skeksis. And girlfriend.
Gelfling. Come here, Gelfling.
I was so excited. We were at professional development for something, and somebody said something about to and fro, and I was like, to and fro, stop and go. That's what makes the world go round. And then other people started singing it, and I was like, I'm not the only one who watches Sword in the Stone. Yay! I'm not alone in my geekiness.
I'm not the only geek.
I'm pretty big.
But yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll wait and see. It's like
Yeah,
everything else.
I mean, I don't know how I felt about the Pokemon movies. They're okay.
yeah, they were okay.
I like the first one.
The first
Yeah.
one, yeah. Yeah, the
They were
first one
good.
was okay. Yeah, I kind of like the first one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
But I think what they're going with this time is not as... Because Pokemon is more for kids. It's more kid humor stuff. They're going to go with this one with a little more adultish humor.
I mean, there was
From
always
from what I was reading.
there was always adult humor in Pokemon. It just wasn't glaring adult
Well,
humor.
I mean, they did adult humor with Looney Tunes.
Right.
Yeah.
It went over the kids' heads, and the parents got to see something,
Right. Which is the way it should be.
It was like when they did the picture of a screw and a ball, and oh, he's a screwball. It's like, oh, he said that. No, he didn't. He just thought it.
It's so funny.
What?
That's not very adult.
Well, back then, screwball was an adult thing because you didn't want kids to be calling other kids screwballs.
I just think saying screw and balls together. I'm kind of tired.
You have issues.
But I think it's just better when the humor is subtle. Like, sometimes the in-your-face humor, it just gets to be too much. Like, I prefer it when it's subtle, right? When you gotta kind of look for it and think about it. Like, there's only so much South Park you can watch. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was in South Park.
Right. There was what was it? Rocko's Modern Life. That cartoon I loved because it had, like slapstick, haha, the kids, and then there was so much adult humor that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Animaniacs.
Yes.
Yes, Animaniacs is a perfect example.
Yeah.
They were perfect. Yeah. Like sometimes.
But that one, no, that was not a kid's. No, that one was not a kid's.
But the kids didn't know it wasn't kids. Like.
Yeah, but it wasn't for kids.
No, like
all.
I like Animaniacs, and I'll show it. Like I like to show Pinky and the Brain every once in a while to some of my kids, but I have to watch them first to see like how bad is this really before I can show it, because some of it was pretty bad, and Wacko and Yakko and Dot were pretty bad. I show them always when they do the different states and stuff like that, because they
all the songs,
all the songs were cute. So I show them
Francesca. What is her name? Banana Fofana Mana.
Yeah, or whatever her name was. I was like, hello,
or Dot Nurse.
So yeah.
Pokemon Sausage Party.
I have not seen
that. I
that.
heard a bad thing about that recently, that a lot of the animators didn't get credit.
Right.
And they got fired.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about that. I was like, that's
not cool. I mean, even if you fire them and they did stuff in there, you should give them credit.
Yeah.
And make sure they were paid.
Yeah, so, that was like all kinds of shady in that article.
That kind of makes me almost not want to see that.
I don't know. I'm getting to this point, and I guess I'm old. I'm just getting to a point where that kind of humor just doesn't really do it for me anymore.
Well, they're saying that this is kind of like the Blazing Saddles of our time.
But it's super crass. Like, I've heard that it's like
crass.
Super crass. Like, it's not... I didn't feel like Blazing Saddles was crass. Like, that was one of the nice things.
Well, it was crass in the times. It was.
But, like, this kind of crass? I don't know.
It was, but it still had that bar,
Yeah, it has a bar that you just kind of, like, don't leap over. Like, there's there's a way, like we just said, there's a way to be crass without being like, hey, I'm being crass, look at me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But things are different now that it's a different time. And things don't.
But I don't know that they necessarily need to be. That's all I'm saying. But
like, if you would play Blazing Saddles like today as a movie,
nobody'd blink at it. Like, nobody.
No, they would. It would be worse.
No way.
Yeah. All the racist jokes that are in there, a ton of them.
Yeah, but they were to make a statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were played to effect.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, but if you played that in these days, people wouldn't take it like that.
I think they would.
Yeah.
I don't think people would even blink an eye at it.
I think we would. We would be fine because we would understand that. But it was a different time back then.
Get a little, artsy on you. It's kind of like Gilbert and Sullivan's Mikado, which had the old musical. No,
I haven't seen that.
Old musical looks on the surface like it's making fun of Japan, but it's not. They're actually making fun of the British government, but they couldn't say, "Hey, we're going to make fun of the British government because we live here." So
right, because we're here.
And then the first time the Japanese government saw it, everybody's like, they're going to think it's terrible. And like, no, we see exactly what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
We see what you're doing. So I think if you write it well, it becomes evident what you're doing. I don't think you have to be... That's some of the problem that I have with the world today in general, is I feel like people just feel like they need to be in everybody's faces. And I don't know if it's because of this, like the YouTube and everybody wants their 15 seconds of fame, but it's like everywhere we go, people have to talk too loud. They want you to hear their conversations. Like, look at me. You and I saw examples of that even at Gen Con, and we were talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like people are overacting, they're over dramatizing, they're talking too loud so that people know how important they are. They're making their point super dramatically. Everybody online wants to kill one another.
Yeah.
I'm going to come over there and shoot you and kill you because you have a different opinion.
Patrick says from 3D print, Nolan C 3D Printworks, says indeed, PC on the racism. Nope. Most would blow up the internet and demand it not be shown.
So I don't know.
Even Mel Brooks said they couldn't make a movie like that today. He said himself recently.
But I think that he meant that we couldn't make a movie like that today because we don't know how to go about it. Because we don't know how to use subtlety.
No, he said he would not be able to do that because of how people.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna look it up.
To the internet.
To the magic interwebs. Dr.
We don't
Google.
have time for that.
Oh, it's 7:04.
Yeah.
We'll discuss this later once I've done some research and
To
had
be
some sleep.
continued.
But yeah, no, we talked about Blade Runner 2.
Dose.
We talked about our little free library
Tomorrow.
at 12 to 2
To 2
p.m. And we talked about
reading and
movies and
STEM comics, yeah.
STEM comics and live action Pokemon. But no, it's over an hour again, which is why we can never be in Austin and on their shows over there.
We talked
because
too much.
we have to keep it at 58.30, something like that. 58 and a half minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or we could be in Austin. And they want us on there.
Well, we just have to talk faster.
Done.
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 I'll make it faster in post-production.
Yeah. Edit it. But no, thanks for checking us out. It's been a great time. We'll see you tomorrow at Little Free Library. If you can.
And at Child's Play Games and Geekery, they're
Yes.
opening their brand new store
Yes.
in New Braunfels.
Well, they've opened already, but they're doing their grand opening.
Yeah.
Which I don't get that anymore. I don't understand that.
Well, because
why
then you
isn't
get
the
the
grand
bugs.
opening the opening?
No, because then you have some time to like flush things out and get the bugs out and make sure everything's like nice and ready and pretty, and then you order stuff.
Didn't it used to
for
be like the
event.
grand opening was the opening?
No comment because we're out of time.
Yes. Go. Say goodbye.
But thanks for checking it out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Chris.
Woo! Geek out, SA.